Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Crime and violence have become very prevalent in Nigeria. Bombings, kidnapping, mass murder have become the order of the day, and the situation deteriorates further daily. In the past few months, with the Chibok girls kidnapping and multiple bombings in the northern part of Nigeria, citizens have become security conscious. With attention on the World Cup presently being held in Brazil, people have become lax on security issues. How do you get people to be security alert 24/7? Joining us in this discussion is the security consultant, Femi Aratokun. I practiced.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Welcome on the show.
Good morning.
Okay. You can be a part of this discussion by calling 07080668014 or tweeting to us at Your View TVC. We'd like to hear from you. I'd like you to take two more tweets from last discussion before we quickly move ahead to security discussions.
Someone is saying, Jumoke, what's the report with our girls? We could not leave PDP and APC matter.
Oh, like that's you knew that we're moving
Gibson, on. The boss. Then Ajala, Abiola. Oh, so this is on Keshi. Can I take it? Keshi is more a media advertiser than a real coach. Wonder what time he has to really coach his team. He's too busy advertising.
Okay, moving on to security matters, like somebody asked us on Twitter. What are the remote and immediate causes of insecurity in Nigeria, and how can they be resolved?
Well, I think if I should say my own sentences in my own little way. In the past, I think probably, let me put it this way, 40 years ago or 60 years ago, the laxity we have in security today was in order in the past. And right now, the care plan and the clear policy into how to secure environment has not really been taken down into real details. So that's exactly why we're having what we have today as a big loose gap in the way we actually see ourselves, or probably dignify ourselves as in what exactly do we stand for in Nigeria and where exactly are we really going? Are the government we have today, or probably our leaders, are they real leaders, or they are bosses to us? If they are leaders to us, then they should set examples and let's follow. But if they are bosses, all we're going to be getting is just orders and orders and orders, and there will be no say for you and I sitting down here to actually contribute towards how to move the country forward. That's why we are today. We have found ourselves in a very deep shape.
What are the consequences of the security lapses that you've mentioned?
Well, if I should, it's just too much. One, we fail to really set clear policies, as I've said, in terms of what we need to do. We fail to understand the word security training and alertness towards security in the country, and how to actually refresh security training within the security forces, which we have in Nigeria today. So if we fail to do all this, the world is moving very fast and everything is moving fast enough. If we are not one step ahead, then we're going to be 10 steps backward. That's exactly what I see today.
Unfortunately, it seems like the government in all arms are not doing enough. Now, what can the citizenry do? I always ask this question because in developed countries, it's not just what the government can do for you. What can you as a citizen do for your country? So there's security lapses. Our government isn't meeting up to our security needs. What can UA do, to at least improve the situation?
You're actually right. You said it before, and I will just probably, try to congratulate Nigeria and the Nigerian citizens at large, for the GDP in Africa, becoming, one of the very strong and the strongest, so to say, the economy right now. Now, look at it this way. What exactly is the security vote or the security budget they have?
It's
what exactly has it been used for in the past?
It's what it's been used for that I have not been told.
Right now, we have sporadic, let me put it that way, violence everywhere. Is the government trying their best to actually curb it? If they're actually curbing it, at what level, in what way? Do we actually need any foreign intervention into what we have in the country today? Knowing fully well we have 160 or 170 million people, are you trying to tell me that we don't really have the manpower and the resources to actually train and retrain and employ people into the security system?
Please tell us your opinion on the issue. Do you think that we do not need the assistance of foreign countries on our security issues?
Jumoke, you and I both know it. We speak the same language. What language is America going to speak to us that we're going to understand in the first place? What language is the French government going to speak to us that we're going to understand? French government have got their own crisis in CAF.
True.
America's got their problem with Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya at the moment. Why coming down to you, to Nigeria in the first place? Are we going to be the savior, or we're going to put our own lives and design what exactly we want to follow and lead to ourselves?
I'm going to ask you a question based on that, because part of the reason why they are here is because we do not have enough reliable security intelligence. So they are bringing their troops to work as not on-ground troops, just intelligence and gathering information. So you having said that, what is the status of Nigeria as regards intelligence? Military intelligence, because if we had that, then they wouldn't have to come in. By now, the girls would have been rescued.
I think, wasn't it about a month ago or thereabout, the government probably, set up a committee to actually recruit or probably, put some more forces into the Nigerian military power might in the country. 6,000 is not even enough. 10,000 is not even way is, in fact, to me, I look at it this way. Do not politicize what we have on ground today. Let us keep our arms very open and look into how exactly every single body can actually contribute in their own little way.
So how many thousands do you think we need?
If you look at the states, how many states do we have? We have about 36 states.
Plus FCT.
Making 37. So are you trying to tell me now that you're going to just pick probably about
I have a question.
So give us figures,
or 7,
Femi, help us.
If I should give a figure, believe me, we should just be looking into probably 1 million or thereabout, so that we can have, so that we can actually have what we call the admin side, the logistics side, and the people, they're going to, probably, go to the war front or probably frontline servicemen.
Okay, we have a phone call. Kayode has called in from Ipaja. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, okay.
How are you today, sir?
I'm good.
Good. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
A nation without data, where are we?
We actually, we are nowhere, to be sure with you.
Thank you very much.
If that is it.
There are no plans for future occurrences in this country.
Right.
There is no surveillance camera, no data, a lot of foreigners in the country with no information. So where are we?
Yeah,
I refuse to call in when we're talking about APC and PDP because I'm not interested. There is no true leaders among them. I'm not interested. But this security thing is a major thing. That's the problem we are facing in the country right now. We should face it squarely. A lot of issues are on ground, but let's talk about this security now so that this insurgency problem should go away.
Yes.
For good.
We agree.
Nigerians don't know all of us, including you, Jumoke, Uwa, Lima, and everyone there.
Yeah.
Including myself. There's no data anywhere. We are backward technologically. Lack of infrastructure. When Twin Tower was bombed, we saw it. We can view it. Today in Nigeria, there will be a bombing. All we'll see is our policemen carrying guns after they had left. No record. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Kayode.
On that comment you just made, what can me as an individual, every one of us as individuals do? What limits do we have? Now, if the government is not providing for us, you just said that they should have more men and more equipment that we do not have. Can I carry some kind of protective arm on me? What limits are there on grounds that I would?
Well, to be honest with you, you're actually very correct. As in, how do you protect yourself?
Yeah.
In case there's probably any violence or criminal activities within your area or your environment. Let me put it to you this way: you are actually having an iPad in front of you. If I tell you, or probably everybody listening will not know, that we have iPad bulletproof slates, does that make any sense at all?
No, it doesn't. Please explain that.
Well, this is an iPad. With this iPad, probably if there's any gunshot straight down, it's going to blow up the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. But we have a slate being probably developed in the United Kingdom that can actually stop some kind of bulletproof shots to some limits that we actually don't know.
Okay, let's take a break. Okay. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I'm very interested in what you just mentioned.
Thank you.
Please stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break. Thank you for staying tuned. The Chibok girls still on our mind, and we're talking about security in Nigeria. We do have a phone call from Mazi. Good morning, sir. Oh, okay, he's gone.
Sorry,
so you were going to ask a
because
question.
what Nima said, in my head, I'm thinking, how do I protect myself against the bombing? Because even if you have the tablets that are protective from bullets and all that, how do I protect myself against bombing? Because we read something in the news in the Winners Chapel at Owerri, and vigilance, security people, they checked and they saw some nylon bags and they found out there were bombs and all that inside. So I mean, for me, I think when you say my own personal role, as to protecting insurgency or whatever in my own territory is to be more vigilant. Don't you think so? So, like, what are the kind of things we should now look out for?
What you should first do is this. There should be something called, you gotta be security conscious of yourself. And you must be very vigilant what goes on around you. Probably in a street like this now, let's look at it this way. How many vehicles are actually parked within your street at some point in time every day? Perhaps probably, your neighbors or something like that, how many cars do they have? When they are having visitors, we should try to revisit the what we used to have in those days, the street vigilantes, to actually have a clear number of how many cars are being owned by each and every single body. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So with all these, if we look at the steps Boko Haram or probably any criminal insurgents are actually taking, they use cars. Look at the kind of cars they use. Old dirty cars.
Old rickety cars.
Okay, we'll come back to Boko Haram. I have a question on that, but there's Tony holding on. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you today, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, there is something I want to say. You see, we are talking about security in this country. Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
The problem we have in this country is that sometimes when something happens, that we be blaming the government or hello?
Please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
That we be blaming the government or the president. The problem we have is from the local government and police. Look at, for example, I went to visit my friend on Sunday in Sangota. You know what they're facing there? They're facing since last almost 3 years that will not open their window. Smoke will cover everywhere. Let me just give you an example. Like somebody, they are making aluminium from where you will know, like stadium in Nojeleba there. People that build house in Yaba cannot use ordinary zinc or aluminium zinc except a vessel zinc, because the smoke will make the aluminium zinc, and people, they are living there. Then I asked my friend, why you people are living this place? Why can't you go and make complaint to police or local government? They said they have went to police. Police, they are collecting money there. And the local government chairman said that man is paying people, paying a lot of people there. Students are there that cannot come outside and play and start making that aluminium.
Wow.
And nobody is complaining. When people, maybe one day now, they'll start fighting here now, that will say no security in Nigeria, that will be blaming governor, blaming president of Nigeria. But police, they are saying here. Local government chairman, they're saying here.
Okay, thank you very much. Very incisive. I was going to take him up on the Boko Haram because, I mean, it's a major security issue that we have in Nigeria now. Can Boko Haram be eradicated? One. Secondly, what do the Nigerian military need to be more effective? Please tell us, Femi, as a security consultant.
To be honest with you, if we look at the word Boko Haram, Boko simply means book. Haram is no. Let us not try to translate it back to what we have today in the country and what exactly we're actually facing. We've seen so many attacks on our students inside their compounds in different northern states. What actually have we actually probably done to curb this menace in the first place? We have already failed our children.
As in securing the schools?
Yes, we have already failed the future. And we have not even have any, there is no care plan to actually put in place for the trauma the families are actually facing.
So you don't think that they can be eradicated?
They can be eradicated,
How?
but we're both in the whole shoes together to actually look for a clear plan, as in, okay, this is what we're going to do. Every single state needs to have its different strategic plans and ideas into how to get it done.
What does the military need to do?
The military needs to have a very clear point. Are we facing a war? Or are we actually?
I
don't want to look at it as if we're facing a war.
Femi.
If you look at the general map of Nigeria right now, the global world will say Nigeria is a terrorist country, is probably not at peace and stuff like that. But let us not try to break it down into zones. The western part is quite, let me put it this way, is on green zone.
Let's not say that.
Hold on, I'll put it to you straight away.
Okay, let us take a phone call, Femi.
If you look at the north, they're actually on the red zone. That means we have a very serious area where the whole thing is actually happening.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Let's take a phone call. Let's take a phone call. Larry, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning.
How are you today, sir?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, concerning, you asked your guest over there about what an individual can do to actually curb this insecurity.
Yes.
I was expecting to hear the CDAs, landlords and landlords association and all that, coming together and installing CCTV, stuff like that in every state.
Every estate?
Every street.
Okay.
You can imagine if we have CCTV at the exit and the entrance of every street. If the problem we have so far, even with the Nyanya bombing and all that, there was no, just like the earlier caller said, there was no record.
Yes.
When the September 11 bomb blast happened in America, at least we were able to see how it was and all that, and they were able to analyze this from the pictures they saw. So I think if CDAs, CCTV is not that expensive, 15,000, 20, 30,000 naira, you can do that and install in almost every street. If the community, come together to do that, whatever happens, even if you cannot stop it, there will be a record. They can always trace up the pictures, they can trace up the cars, whatever is used. The police can now follow up on there.
Yeah. Thank you so very much, Larry. Thank you. We have to run off quickly.
Sorry, can I say something? Because the other caller that called about Songwater and him calling about installing CCTV cameras. The tackling of insurgency does not just stop there, because if you install CCTV cameras, is it which light will power them? How would they work? And so for me, I feel that the government has a major part to play. Create rules, ground rules. There's no structure.
Infrastructure.
No, it's not even infrastructure. Structure. As in terms of, infrastructure for NEPA, for everything. Let everything start to function. When it is only in functional society, like the Boston bombing, that they were able to bring CCTV cameras from different things. Are you now going to power that CCTV camera and use your generator with your diesel to power it?
I also think
solar panels are expensive, Nima.
I also think that even if the CCTVs are powered, even if you have electricity 24/7, I don't think it's a very strong opposing factor, because if I want to steal in the street or I want to bomb a street, I come and shoot the CCTV and it's not functioning anymore.
But then it will alert people that something is going on the street.
Anyways,
going back to Femi.
Yeah, I think you guys, you've all made a good point. The last caller has all made a good point. But what we need to understand is this. Will the government ever support the street landlords to actually effect this?
No, this is we securing ourselves. If the government will do it for us.
Remember one thing, the government will now come up with a clear plan again that you cannot do it until we actually pass it into law.
True, Sha.
We need to actually look at what exactly we're actually saying
Exactly what happened in Lagos State. They were installed and there was no go ahead to power them.
So basically, at the end of the day, it's going to be up, down situation, whereby there will be no rules for proper strategy
Femi,
to make it work.
Finally, before we run off, how can the citizens help the government to gather intelligence?
The government has got to do one big favor,
which is
for the citizens. Be clear and open to their own policies onto exactly what they need to do. If they fail to do that, then a common man on the street will never, ever disclose any information. Information in tackling terrorism lies with us.
True.
But if we fail, or if the government rather fails, to actually come close and try to be part of who they say they are, then we would never, and the citizens as well, we never come so close to them to actually do their job effectively.
It's been so very nice having you. Okay, let's take one or two. We need to run off.
Kayode Adejare says, we need data in this country and surveillance cameras. Security is not about a man carrying gun alone. Plans for future occurrences, we should have future plans.
One more.
Then Tosi Johnson says, security needs to be localized. I mean, one security rep per house, street, etc.
Thank you so very much, Femi, for coming on. You want to say something before we go?
Just want to say something before we actually round up. Nigeria should try to look at themselves in one angle. They should not try to be reactive to situation. What we need to do is we try to be proactive. If we try to be proactive, things happening right now would never have happened.
So
in the first
prevent.
place. We should just try to be tactically preventive of stuff before it actually gets straight to us.
Thank you so very much, Femi,
you.
for coming on the show this morning. You can watch a repeat broadcast of your view at 11:30 p.m. tonight. Repeat is 12 midnight on Fridays. You can also watch us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/TVC Entertainment and search for your view. Thanks very much for being with us this morning. Please keep a date with us tomorrow. We'll be here at 9 a.m. Have a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.